Hi, I'm Chris Azarito.
Hi,
I'm
I'm
going to give you your
Barbara.
lesson today. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Looking forward to it.
Wonderful. All right, so what I'd like to start with today is just to understand a little bit about you and some of your interests and some of your hobbies and what you would like to accomplish by the end of this lesson today. We're going to do a 30-minute lesson and we're hoping to be able to get you some kind of improvement so you can go on and play and see some improvement today. So can you tell me a little bit about what you want to do today?
Yes.
So you have a hybrid.
I do, and this is my problem. I started playing golf later on in life, and for whatever the reason is, I can't get hybrid shots.
Okay.
They will not go up in the air.
Okay,
Every
so you're not
once in
getting
a
any elevation on the hybrid
right.
shot.
Every
Okay.
once in a while, it's like an accident, and it happens.
Okay.
But that's my goal. If I can use my hybrids to get more distance,
Okay.
to get them up in the air, and it's down here they don't have a lot of roll.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm dependent on roll, but that would be my goal.
Okay, so Barbie, have you warmed up yet? Can we do a couple of warm-ups?
Oh, sure.
Okay, why
Sure.
don't we, if you take your club, that's fine. Just hold it out in front of you like this.
Oh, okay.
And let's just kick our legs back and forth with just this way. Warm up. And I'm going to ask you some questions. Do those 8 times and then switch to go to the other way. So do you play any other activities, any other sports?
No, but I'm a walker.
Okay.
I enjoy walking.
Have you had any surgeries?
Yes, a hip replacement.
Oh, on the right hip?
Right hip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we switch to go to the other hip?
And shoulder. A shoulder
What did you
surgery.
have on that left shoulder?
It was a torn
Torn
rotator.
rotator cuff.
Yeah.
So you have some more limitations.
And as long as we're talking about it, my neck too, I have the stenosis, cervical
so you
stenosis.
a little bit
So
of
little
problems moving your neck and
Yes.
your left shoulder and your right hip.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just do the other leg now. There you go. And okay, while you're talking or while you're doing that, so are you in any pain today? Do you
Oh,
feel
nothing.
hurt?
No pain.
Your knees are okay. Your feet are okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right. Why don't we just stand a little bit like this and show me? Just try to move your upper body for me. Okay. Good. All right. Now stand this way again and just move your hips for me if you can. Let's see how far you can range of motion. Okay. Good. How about your wrist? Do your hands hurt? Do you have any problems with your wrists or anything? Okay. With your left shoulder, your left arm, if you can just bring your arm up this way and see how far you can go back. Is that your?
That's it.
Okay. That's good. All right. Great. All right. So let's take a club and hold it this way, and then just turn just your upper body.
Do I have my arms straight out?
Straight out. Just your upper body. There you go. So you basically have hip and shoulder problems and lower stiffness in your neck.
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been playing golf?
I think I started taking lessons maybe 8 years ago.
8 years. So you've been playing for about 8 years.
So I would say 8 years. But,
How often do you play? Would you say?
well, we joined a club 4 years ago, and that's when I started playing maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
And, should I continue?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So I would say
three
3 times a week. Every once in a while I play early morning, like back 9.
Okay.
But it's very wet,
Okay,
and that's
right,
another
so it doesn't
reason
get a
why.
lot of roll.
It's another reason why I need the ball to go up.
Okay, so can you now take the club and just lightly swing the club forward, backwards. All right. And also now swing back and forward. Back, so opposite. You know what I mean? Now you swing through in the front. You want to kind of go back strong so you can kind of loosen
Like
up.
that.
All right, so when you want to improve on your hybrid shots, you want to improve on your hybrid shots while you're in the middle of the fairway,
Yes.
not necessarily off the tee.
Not necessarily off the tee.
So on the ground, basically.
On the ground, yes.
All right, so what is it that you think? Do you have some kind of fear when you're hitting a club for some reason? This particular club?
I think so. I think I've gone down and I've hurt my wrist, and it's like it's reverberated up. And I think, and I'm just thinking to myself, be careful. You don't want to go through that again. I think.
So when you've used a hybrid in the past and you come down and you hit the ground and it's hurt your arm, so you're afraid of that motion
That
again.
wrist and
So you
that.
try. It's in
I
your
think
mind
so.
when
I
you're
think
hitting.
so.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. So can you just take a nice easy swing at this ball for me? Get your stance set up when you're comfortable. And a nice easy swing. Is that as far back as you can move your shoulders in the club?
I'll try a little more.
I don't want you to hurt yourself. I guess I'm asking if that's as far back as you can. Okay. So are these clubs? Did you have them fitted for yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
They're Adams Golf, and I've had them now. I would say I started off with Top Flight. That wasn't good, and I would say I've had this now for 5 years.
Okay.
And they're
fitted
up,
to you.
They're fitted to my height.
All right. All right. Hit another ball for me, please. Okay, you seem to be hitting it off the toe for some reason. I'm not sure yet why. I'm going to stand behind you. All right, so the fear that you told me about, that you're going to hit the ground and it's going to hurt, that indicates to me that you have more of a chopping motion. I didn't really see that chopping motion. So what I would like you to try to imagine and visualize, if you will, is instead of this chopping motion where you feel like I'm going to hurt myself as I hit the ground, think of more of a broom and sweeping, if you will, instead of coming this way, which is a very steep angle, right? A chop.
It's sort of
You
like
want more flatter angle,
like this?
sweeping a broom,
Like
right?
that.
But that doesn't mean you have to shorten your swing. You can bring your swing.
so. But it's like I'm just picturing
Yes,
sweeping.
right.
All right, I'll try that.
Okay, so let's just try a shot.
With the ball or without
Yes,
the ball?
with the ball.
Like a sweep.
That sounded a little bit more flush. How did that sound? to
It
you?
sounded good, yeah.
Did you hear a little bit more?
It sounded, but I
stronger contact?
thought it was going to be up high.
Okay, that's fine. What do we have there for a degree?
That would be the fairway wood thing. Is it? I think I have a 4, 5, and 6 hydrant, and they're very clean.
Did you?
I
Was
hardly
the
use
4
them.
was the one you were using?
I used the 6. The one I just have is the 6.
Okay, I think that we want to try this. Of course, it's the last one I picked. I believe.
And I'm keeping the ball right in the middle of my stance.
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
That's where you're comfortable. Hang on, let me get on the other side.
All right. So I'm going to do like a sweep.
So you've had lessons, you told me,
I did.
previously. So
Yes.
I noticed that you have a pretty good stance, and a good. It looks like your grip is fine. Yeah, you have a pretty good athletic stance. All right, now let's try that sweep again. I think that was a nice shot right there.
That was.
How did that feel?
That felt.
Did it feel like you had more centerness of contact?
Yeah, and also the imagery of sweeping helped me. It really did.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Did you notice where that ball went?
it went over to the left.
Okay, but did you see the height on it? Was that higher than anything you've hit before, or is that an improvement? I should
That's
say.
an improvement.
Okay.
There's definitely an improvement.
So
yeah.
let's So we want you to hit the ball a little bit higher with the hybrids, or you want to hit the ball.
Yes.
So what do you think would be a successful lesson today? How many times, if you were to use the hybrid, how many times do you think you might use the hybrid in a round of 9 holes?
Well, I would probably use it twice or 3 times on the fairway.
So maybe 12 to 18 times, is that what you're
On 9
saying?
holes.
Maybe 15 times, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So if we used it 15 times and you were to hit a ball that ball like that, do you think that was a
I
much
would-
improved shot?
It was improved, but I would like better.
Okay.
I would like it to be down the middle.
Okay.
And I'd like it to go further.
Right.
Up. It doesn't have to go way high. Right. But so it doesn't hit the ground.
But do you think that shot you just hit was an improvement from what you were hitting?
Oh, God.
Okay, so if we could get that pretty standardized, or I should say, if we could get that happening more often and then improve upon that, that would be
I would be
successful.
very happy, yes.
Okay,
That
so,
would be wonderful.
so let's see.
Because I'm going to tell you, I do not use my hybrids at
Okay,
all.
because I want you to feel comfortable and have success using your hybrid. Okay?
That felt,
How did that feel
that
to you?
felt very good to me.
That felt good.
And it sounded good too.
That sounded excellent.
I don't hear that
I
sound
felt
too often.
it sounded to me like you have much more centimeters of contact with the club. I mean, meaning you hit the ball a little more flush.
You know, it's interesting that imagery of sweeping.
And here's the thing with that imagery with sweeping, you can actually take a broom and hold it like a golf club when you're at your house and just sweep, so that you don't just have to use a club, if you will. If you have your club and you can go in
So
the
it's
backyard
nothing
and just
jerky.
sweep.
It's just like that.
Yes,
like that.
and you definitely want to have your takeaway to try to, as normal as possible. All I'm trying to get you to think about is, instead of a chop, it's a sweep. You don't have to change anything other than in your mind. Seeing a broom, okay, I can sweep. I can sweep.
All right, I'm going to try it today.
Oh my God. That looked pretty good to me.
Oh,
How was that?
that was a miracle.
So here's the thing: when you practice
That was
on the
amazing.
when you practice on the driving range, in your mind, think of sweeping, think of sweeping, think of sweeping, and practice it enough so that when you get ourselves onto the course, I really don't want you to think about sweeping when you're on the course, because the practice take over.
So it sort of becomes that. What do they call it? Cell memory.
It
or
becomes
something?
automatic.
Automatic.
Right? So, but it is going to take time, so you do have to practice. How often do you practice?
What I try to do is when I'm going to play, I come in and practice. And then I don't practice a lot. I might come in and just hit a bucket of balls.
How many
and
times a week?
maybe once or twice.
Okay, so here's another thing that you can try to do is maybe jack that up to maybe 2 times a week, a bucket of balls twice a week. With these particular clubs, I notice you have four. Well, one is a 5-wood, but you have a couple other hybrids.
Yes.
Take those hybrids that you're not as comfortable with hitting in practice, and maybe use half a bucket of balls with one, and then the other half with the other. There are 2 clubs that you're not comfortable using. And the imagery of sweeping, okay? Nothing different in your stance, nothing different in your grip. Maybe get a little more flex in your knees, okay? Just as you get a little more flex and you stay down, the club is going to fall. It's going to fall down. And let's take a flex in the knees, nice and balanced, perfect. Okay. Whoa, you almost got a groundhog, never mind a birdie. All right, so sweeping, sweeping, sweeping. That sounded flush. How did that feel to you?
Felt good, but you know what happened? I felt like I was overthinking so many things, and
Well-
then I sort of got a little.
There's only 2 things you need to think about. That's why I don't want to give you a lot of information, because you don't want to overthink. So the only thing that I gave you was the imagery of a sweeping, right? And a little more flex in the knees. I feel that if you have a little more flex as you come into the ball, we can get a little more power from coming up through the ground. And if your knees are flexed, you can come up a little more, but staying down. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Okay, I'm going to try it.
So just 2 things: sweeping, a little more flex in my knees. You don't have to think about what your knees are doing. You just need to just bend them a little bit more and think of the sweep. And after you've done that, okay. I feel
That
as
didn't sound as good.
it didn't sound as good. No. Okay. Well, that's why we practice.
Still need more balls.
Yeah, we'll,
No, but Harvey has to go.
oh yeah. Well,
Then we might have to.
okay. Well, we'll wait for Harvey. Here he is. He's getting more balls.
All right, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. I'm going by
Better,
sound,
better.
and I don't know how you felt, but that sounded
that-
like it had much better contact.
It
At the beginning of the lesson, you were hitting the ball off the toe of that club, right? You were going for, it was going up to the right more than we'd like. You've been hitting a little bit straighter, a little more flush. And
Why
this-
is that?
because you had the imagery in your mind of I'm going to hurt my arm. So it was a mental block. I can't tell you exactly what it was. I just feel that when that happens to me, there's a mental block. And until I get a different picture in my mind of what I want to do, then I don't do it until I get that. So I tried to input a visual in your mind. And let's try it one more time. I want to look down the line and see.
This is for me, not her.
We can use a couple of those. A little flex, and we're going to sweep, and that's all you need to think about. Sweep. Right down the middle, set it into contact.
Wow.
I scored.
Woo!
Right? How does that feel?
I felt wonderful.
Yeah, see, I
And
think
you know something? It didn't like hurt or anything.
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
it was like,
because you don't have that mental picture in your mind anymore that I'm going to hurt my arm because I'm going to hit my arm. Because that's what you told me.
yeah.
And if we just think about sweeping, you know you're not going to hurt yourself when you're sweeping. Because you're going to sweep nice right off the carpet. I'm sweeping it right off the carpet. Does that make sense?
It does.
So your mind, when you get a different picture in your mind is telling your body what to do. I'm just going to sweep this ball right up the field.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so let's count some shots here. Okay, so let's try to do 10 and see how many we get. Would you feel that was a
Yes.
successful shot?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Very.
do 10. All right, and all you're going to think about is a little bit of flex in my knees, and I'm going to sweep the shot. We're going to do 10, and we're going to count
All right.
how many you feel are successful.
Okay.
One. I don't even have to ask you. That was successful, wasn't it?
That was.
How did
yes.
that feel? Let me know how that felt.
That felt.
When you say good, what does that mean? Oh, set it as a contact?
It felt. It was like effortless.
Perfect.
That's what it felt like.
That's how the club should work for you.
That's what it
You don't
felt
have,
like.
your body doesn't have to hurt. Your body doesn't have to do anything extra. The club's going to do it if you're correctly aligned and you have perfect stance. You have nice grip on the club. You have the flex in your knees and you have the sweeping swing with the hybrid. You're going to be successful. Okay, maybe not so much.
You know, it didn't, and I overthought it.
Okay, good.
I know I
Well,
did.
here's the thing.
I know I
That's
did.
the good point. When you're practicing, what you want to recognize is when you're successful and when you're not.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and you just told me you were overthinking. Okay,
I
so now
was,
how do you not overthink?
I don't know. I was thinking about, I want to have 10 good shots in a row.
You're jumping. You're putting the cart in front of the horse here. Okay, we're just one at a
It
time.
shows you how your mind.
That's right. So you need to have a single focus, which is sweeping. That should be the last thought. All right, now that had really good contact. I think you have a nice forgiving club there, and it went to the right a bit, but it did go pretty far.
It did. I was happy.
Okay, so you're happy. So we'll count 2 out of 3 so far that you're happy. What's important is you're happy. What I'm looking for is what you feel is successful, not what I feel is successful. Although the first one I did know that was a success. Now that sounded great, and that was nice and straight.
I felt it went a little to the left.
Okay.
I didn't want it to do that.
Okay.
You know, this ground.
It's uneven.
Yeah.
Yes, I see that. Well, again, I don't know if you have an opportunity to go to a driving range where there's actual grass, because that's more realistic,
Yes.
as you know.
At home I do.
Okay.
In Florida, but here this is what it is.
This is what you have. Oh, look at that one. That was pretty good. So what are we,
Pretty good.
3 out of 5 so far?
That was fabulous. I've never hit a ball like that.
Well, I think we're doing
With
awesome.
this club, I've never.
Okay. I think we're doing awesome. My goal is to make sure you're successful. All right, that was a little bit off to the right, but
Okay.
I feel as if you're making more solid contact than you did originally. And I feel like you're more comfortable and you're not as worried about hurting yourself. I mean, am I right or wrong on that?
No, you are, but I'm also doing a number on myself, wanting to be successful. So I think I'm like over trying.
Okay, well then just relax. And stay focused on the sweep.
That was fabulous.
Wonderful. So I
That
think
was
that is how
fabulous.
many now? That was 7, and I think we have at least 4 out of 7. 11, right? So, and if I'm correct, maybe you might have had 1 out of 10 in the past.
Maybe 1 out of 20.
1 out of 20, so a half out of 10. All right. So we have vastly improved.
Yeah.
All right, that one sounded a little thin. How'd that feel?
That was not.
Okay, can you tell me what you might have done or not done?
I felt like I moved and maybe like swayed a bit
Okay.
instead of, I don't know. But
Sometimes
I
I know when I hit the ball thin, I'm more upright.
Oh.
So
okay.
that's why I was been asking you to flex your knees a little.
Oh, okay.
Because I know when I flex my knees more, I stay down.
Okay.
Through the impact.
All right.
zone,
Okay.
So that's, I was just indicating earlier to you, the 2 things I don't want you to think about yours. The only 2 things I want you to think about is a little flexion in my knees and I'm sweeping.
That was better. That was better. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 9. I think we have like 5 out of 9. So, all right. Maybe not so much, but would you say 5 out of 10?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
50% improvement, would you say? Maybe,
yeah.
It's like 40%. But
I thought it was like 60%.
okay, so
It was amazing.
okay,
There's
so
no doubt.
you can practice that imagery in your mind anywhere. Like I said, at home, you can even take a club and you just think, I'm going to just sweep, go in your backyard and just sweep. And get that feeling of sweeping the ball off the mat because the more you practice anywhere sweeping, the more you'll ingrain it in your memory, in your muscle memory. And we're trying to get it to be automatic, right? So the more you practice it, and then come out and try to hit 2 buckets of balls a week with your hybrids. Practice your hybrids.
I'm going
Because
to.
those are the clubs you want to use to
yeah.
improve your game.
Absolutely.
Because you've told me you can hit off the tee. It's when you get on the fairway you don't hit the distance. So
Yes.
you've been hitting off a mat and you haven't used the tee. All really that you need to do is practicing. I don't want to give you too much information. I think giving you 2 things to think about is enough.
Is more than yes.
Because
Yes.
you've indicated you're thinking too much to me. I don't want
Yes,
to give you any more. So,
right.
so I would remember to give myself a little more flexion, and I'm just going to sweep the ball. I'm not going to hurt myself if I sweep the ball. I'm not going to jam my arm into the ground if I sweep the ball. Right?
It is.
And allowing the club to do the work. And as you said, what you're trying to feel is that effortlessness.
Yes.
Right? And you'll know because you felt it.
I did.
So
I did.
And maybe when you come on the practice range and you're hitting balls, give yourself, all right, I'm going to hit 10. And see how many you feel are successful, like we just did here.
Yes.
And that will, every time you practice something like that, you're ingraining that memory and you say, okay, I was more successful today. So when you're out there and you're playing, and you stand behind the ball hitting your hybrid, I'm more successful.
Yes.
Because I've done this. I know how this feels. Right? Golf is a mental game. So let's practice a couple more, and I want you to just flex the knees and think of sweeping, and let the club do the work. And try not to rush your swing. That one looked a little faster than
I didn't
the
know
others.
how far back to go either.
Well, you have to just go as far back as you're comfortable. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Okay.
You don't. Some people feel like, oh, I have this driver. You really have to get in there and smash. You just need to be comfortable in your swing because we don't want you to end up with an injury.
Right.
We want the club to do the work. So if you go back as far as you are comfortable, so you're not hurting yourself. That sounded good, but you just didn't get a little bit of height on it.
And I think I did it fast. I don't know how to do it slow.
Okay, so when you take a swing, I'll tell you what I do. I know what my tempo is just from my swing, so I try to give myself a little bit of a mantra when my swing is LPGA, and that's when I hit the ball. So you can do that. That's a whole other separate thing that you can do to try to find your tempo. And once you find it, if you feel yourself speeding up, and then you say, oh, I have to slow my swing down again.
I don't know what my tempo is.
Well, that's for another lesson probably.
All right.
But I don't think you're doing. I think you're fine. Your tempo is fine. Every once in a while, we get excited, so we speed up. That was a nice tempo right there.
I consciously went a little slower back.
Yes, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. When you go slower back, you're not going to do anything wrong. It's when you're speeding up that sometimes your timing gets off. But if you're slowing down, then... That one got up there.
I like that one.
That like that one, all right. So let's hit another one.
They cooled off. We got 7-7.
All right, that sounded a little bit.
And I think I lifted up.
That's what I mean. What happens when you lift up?
Right?
If you lift up, here's the ball on the ground. I'm going to hit it square. If I lift up,
I'm going to hit it on the top.
so that's
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
How that would feel.
That was it was okay. It wasn't okay. I've done better.
Okay. Let's concentrate on staying down through the shot. Okay. You want to come up and see where we hit the ball. Sometimes too quick. Better, right? That feel better?
Oh yeah. That was nice. If I could do those,
Okay. So
I would be happy.
so you feel that we have had a pretty successful little lesson here?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the best lesson is not one that, I mean, my opinion, is not one that's full with so much information
Right. Oh,
that you can't focus. I don't want to give you too much information.
well, I feel like I'm not getting like that brain overload where it kind of just makes you
Crazy.
yeah.
So you
just
feel
stand
that you
still.
have enough information to improve, but not too much to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's
Basically, what I'm thinking is my legs, do the sweeping, and now I'm thinking about just not lifting.
Well, it's not even so much. Just think of I'm going to stay in the shot until it's done. That stay in the shot. It's not about lifting. It's about going all the way through to the other side. Okay. Now that was a good shot, but you did something here that I didn't see you do before. When you hit the ball, you stopped here. In the other ones, you pull because you're trying to stay down.
Okay.
So it's just
You're right. I was trying to stay down.
so.
Oh.
Don't do anything differently. Just get a little flex in the knees, and that will help you stay down through the shot. There you go.
There was it. Yeah. Much better.
Much
Yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that is almost our time. I think we
Really?
have time to
It went by
hit
so
maybe
fast.
another five shots.
Okay.
But I just wanted to leave you with. I want to see you hit 5 more, but I want to leave you with those 2 things. I'm flexing in my knees and I'm sweeping. So let's see how successful we can be. Wonderful. Yeah. Yes. Good. All right. Here's another one. These ones don't cut. So that was 1. All right. Okay.
I
Went
think
straight,
I
but a
lifted.
little
I think
thin.
I lifted.
I can hear that. When I
Yeah.
hear that
Just there.
that thin sound, I can't describe it, but okay.
Oh, I lifted again.
It's okay. That's why you practice. All right, now go back to take a few minutes to step back and think about how that successful shot felt when you made that. Set it as a contact. When you got some elevation. And just take a minute and think about that. And then when you're ready, step back. circulation. Stop that fold.
I stopped.
Yeah. But that's okay. You know. So you just have to think about two things. A little more flexion in the knees. And I'm sweeping the ball. And you're going to go and practice. You're going to at least do one more bucket than you normally do
Yes.
with your hybrids.
Okay. Yes. I don't like this stopping. I want to think about just the sweep.
Yes.
And then when I
The
complete
sweep
this
is
one-
all the way through,
and then
just
when I
like your
complete this
normal
one-
swing. When
Yes.
when I saw you earlier, when you took the first couple of shots, you did come all the way through. So you don't have to change that. All you're doing is you have an imagery of sweeping, and that just means you're going to sweep all the way through still.
Yes.
I'm sweeping all the way through.
Yes.
Instead of jumping, because I'm going to hurt my arm.
Yes.
I'm not going to hurt my arm because I'm
Yes.
going to sweep.
That imagery is really important. I think I stopped thinking about hurting my arm.
Yeah, and you were successful, right?
Yeah.
And we're on a mat,
Yes.
which is even harder than the grass.
Yes.
Right? So now you know you can do it.
Yeah.
It's just that positive imagery. So you have something to think about. So every single time you feel that you are getting away from that nice shot, that successful shot, step back, think about, okay, I just need to remember to flex my knees and I'm going to sweep.
Yeah.
Take a breath, step up to the ball, and hit the ball. Are we all successful today?
Very successful.
Wonderful. I'm so happy.
Thank you
Don't-
so much.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. Fabulous.
Perfect. Are we good?